Welcome to the LA Auto Show. This is the first domestic show of the season. In this video, we're going to skip all the behind the scenes and most of the concepts and get straight to what's relevant to you. You see, here's a collection of all the new vehicles you're going to see at dealerships next year. You can use Edmunds.com to find more detailed information on any of the vehicles featured in this video.
The 2019 Acura ILX has been refreshed and it certainly looks sharper on the outside. You get more standard safety features and Apple CarPlay and Android Auto integration are available. It's comfortable and the high-revving naturally aspirated engine is fun to drive in certain situations, but it lacks grunt in normal driving. The interior also feels a bit cheap and plasticky because the ILX is still based on the last generation Honda Civic. However, this is the cheapest way to get into a new small luxury sedan with prices starting at just around $26,000. This 5-passenger SUV has been totally redesigned for 2019. We've had a chance to test the all-new RDX and it ranked competitively among small luxury SUVs, coming in a close fifth in a hotly contested segment. The turbo motor feels strong and the RDX is fun to drive. It's also comfortable, roomy, and has great interior storage and cargo space. So why only fifth? Well, it's not quite as premium feeling as some competitors, and its German rivals are a bit stronger dynamically. Still, with prices starting under $40,000, the new RDX should present a tempting value to shoppers.
As SUVs take over auto sales, the Audi A6 takes a stand for those who still value performance and handling. It starts right around $60,000 and drives a lot like the previous generation, which is a good thing. The big difference is the amount of technology they packed into it. Unfortunately, it's a little distracting to use. There's also a new Audi A7 at the show, and it drives a lot like the A6. It costs $9,100 more though, but you get a lot more features and a much larger cargo space. Unfortunately, you also lose out on a little rear seat headroom. Check out my first drive on each of these to find out for yourself. Both the A6 and A7 compete against the Mercedes-Benz E-Class as well as the BMW 5 Series. Right behind me is the Audi A8. As much as I like this flagship, a lot of the technology has gone unfulfilled. The interface is just as distracting to use as the supporting models, and its biggest development, Level 3 automated driving, isn't coming to the US just yet. Even without that, it's a really strong choice in the class that includes the BMW 7 Series and Mercedes-Benz S-Class. Also notable is the all-electric e-tron. It goes with more conventional styling than its rivals, the Jaguar I-Pace, Tesla Model X, and Mercedes EQC. Like those, it has all-wheel drive and is packed with technology. Judging by the battery specs, the 200-mile range should get close to the Tesla Model X. Performance should still be good with a 0 to 60 time of 5.5 seconds, which is slower than the Jag and the Tesla. BMW's 7th generation 3 Series is here with the M340i. 382 horsepower from the turbocharged 6-cylinder is a big step up from the 255 horsepower in the 330i. BMW estimates it'll hit 60 miles an hour in 4.2 seconds. All-wheel drive is an option, but if you want a manual transmission, you're out of luck. There's more tech that includes a virtual assistant like Mercedes-Benz's MBUX system. The M340i will show up in the spring, and we expect it to cost somewhere around $50,000. I like the 3 Series, but I love the 8 Series. I also love convertibles, and that version made its debut right here. It has the same 523 horsepower turbo V8 as the coupe, and it sounds amazing. But with the top down, that V8 should sound even more amazing. Enjoy it for yourself when it arrives in March for about $122,000. For about half that price, you can get the all-new BMW Z4. I got to drive it, and it's a huge improvement over the last generations. It's a good middle ground between the Porsche Boxster and Audi TT Roadster, both in terms of price and personality. Prices start right around $50,000 for the turbocharged 4-cylinder that makes 255 horsepower this March. The production version of the BMW X7 also made its world debut here. This 3-row SUV has seating for 7 and a maximum cargo capacity of 90 cubic feet. When the X7 goes on sale this March, you'll have 2 engine choices. A 355 horsepower turbocharged 6-cylinder that sells for about $75,000. You also have a 456 horsepower V8 that sells for around $94,000. Shoppers are more likely to gravitate towards the X5 than the big X7, and it's been fully redesigned for 2019. You get the same engine choices as the X7, which means the V8 powered X5 should be a really strong performer. This 4th gen model is a little bit bigger than before and also gets some light off-road capabilities. It's on sale now for around $62,000 for the xDrive 40i and $77,000 for the xDrive 50i. A third row of seats is optional. If you're looking to downsize, there's also a new BMW X4. With smaller dimensions and improved handling, it actually borders on sporty. Unfortunately, that roofline cuts into cargo space as well as rear seat headroom. Prices are going to start right around $51,000 for the xDrive 30i. Stepping up to the 355 horsepower M40i should set you back another 10 grand.
This is the all-new 2019 Chevy Blazer. They've brought the name back. And while it's not the rough and tumble Blazer of the 60s or 70s, or even the S10-based Blazer of the 90s, it is an aggressively styled family crossover. It's got 2 rows of seating on the inside, and it can tow up to 4,500 pounds. I, for one, am excited to get it into the Edmunds office and take it for a drive. The 2019 Chevy Camaro gets refreshed looks, new headlights, new taillights. It also gets a new infotainment interface on the inside. And for this year, you can get the 1LE track package with the base 4-cylinder engine. Or if you want to, you can still opt for 2 optional V8s, including a supercharged motor that puts out 650 horsepower. This is the 2019 Chevy Silverado. It's completely redesigned, but it feels a bit more like a refresh. We like it for its impressive towing capabilities and its quiet and comfortable interior, but it's still ranked 3rd behind the Ram 1500 and the Ford F-150.
Dodge keeps finding ways to make the Challenger seem new and exciting. The obvious play, making it faster and faster with the 797 horsepower Red-Eye, is A-OK with us. But even in the V6 and Scat Pack models, Dodge offers new tech, flashy body mods, and all-wheel drive. Of all of the American muscle cars, Challenger seems most sure of its audience, focusing on bold colors and quick quarter-mile times. If you're looking for old-school muscle, it's right here in a modern package. The 2019 Dodge Charger isn't a sensible car, but man, comes in bright colors, makes loud noises, and it goes real fast. And also, really, with 4 doors and a roomy cabin, it'll work as a family car and you can drive it without giving up your sense of adventure. For 2019, the Hellcat gets all kinds of race-specific technology, and the Scat Pack and base models get optional adaptive suspension and new styling. The latest generation has been around since 2011, but it remains one of our favorite big sedans because it blends hot rod performance with daily usability. The Edge failed to impress us in its early years, striking us as an underpowered and under-optioned mid-size crossover. But it's gotten better every single year. And for 2019, it's packed with safety features, contemporary technology, and plenty of room for passengers and cargo. The Ford F-150 is the most popular truck in the United States. It's more than just a beefy pickup, though. The F-150 is a versatile work truck and a pleasure to drive. The interior is modern and comfortable, and there are half a dozen engine options for everything from family cruising to hardcore hauling and towing. Tech features such as Sync 3 are easy to use, and many advanced driver safety aids are now standard. The 2019 Mustang offers more options for looking cool and going fast. The Bullet is back. Ford continues to taunt us with promises of a GT500 and more than 700 horsepower. But with a wide range of pricing and performance at even the base level, there's a lot to like about Mustang for 2019. With trucks growing ever larger, it is a real joy to see the return of the 2019 Ford Ranger in a conveniently sized package. You can choose a crew cab with a short bed or an extended cab with a standard bed, and rear-wheel drive, part-time four-wheel drive, or the FX4 off-road package. There's only one engine, the 2.3-liter EcoBoost 4-cylinder. Since the 2.7-liter EcoBoost V6 is such an overachiever in the larger F-150, we think the 2.3-liter is going to impress in this smaller truck.
The Genesis brand may not have been around for very long, but they have been producing some impressive cars. The all-new 2019 G70 is a small luxury sedan that is good fun to drive. Material quality and comfort are good, although the technology features don't come off quite as impressive as pricier competitors, and you might find the back seat a little cramped. This car's lively character on the road sets it apart, especially when it's equipped with the 365 horsepower V6. Prices for that V6 model start at around $45,000, while the 4-cylinder equipped model undercuts most competitors, starting around 35 grand. Be sure to check out my full first drive video for all of the details on this car.
Ranked fourth among plug-in hybrids, the Honda Clarity gets 3 different powertrain options. There's the hydrogen fuel cell, there's the purely electric model, and then there's this, the one we recommend, the plug-in hybrid. The plug-in hybrid gets 48 miles of EV range, and then it switches over to use both the batteries and the internal combustion engine, and it's rated at 42 mpg combined. Now, while that's good, it's not class-leading, and it's not enough to make it a top-ranked Edmunds hybrid. The Insight is one of Edmunds' top-ranked hybrids. It's all new for 2019, and it's really good-looking. It's kind of sleek and unassuming on the outside, not typically what you associate with a hybrid, something more like the Prius. But it's also got a 52 mpg EPA combined estimate. That's really efficient, and it's really nice to drive. So, the Insight might be the perfect hybrid for someone who doesn't want a hybrid that looks like a hybrid. This is the all-new Honda Passport, and basically it's a 2-row version of the Honda Pilot. It's shorter from front to back, but it's got the same wheelbase, the same V6, and the same 9-speed automatic transmission. It's available in front or all-wheel drive, and we already know that it's going to have class-leading interior quality. Basically, this is a more off-road friendly version of the Pilot as well, thanks to an additional inch of ground clearance, and the shorter length at the back means that it's got better departure angle. The extra height in front means better approach angles. We can't wait to get it in-house and test it off-road. This is the refreshed 2019 Honda Pilot. It gets some interior updates, but the outside looks the same, and you've still got the same V6 and 9-speed automatic under the hood. This is one of Edmunds' top-ranked SUVs, and it's the top-ranked mid-size 3-row. If you're looking to avoid a minivan, this one should be right at the top of your shortlist. The Hyundai Elantra is refreshed for 2019. It gets some different exterior styling bits in the front and in the back. It also gets some more standard safety equipment. And if you want a car that's got a lot of bang for the buck, we recommend taking a look at the Hyundai Elantra. It's got a refined and quiet interior and a good ride on the highway. This is the 2019 Hyundai Kona Electric. It's got 258 miles of electric range, and although Hyundai calls it an SUV, we like to think of it more as a roomy hatchback. It's also got great driving dynamics for an EV. This is the all-new Hyundai Palisade. It's their 3-row premium flagship SUV, and it's got room for 8 inside. Under the hood, it's got a V6 and an 8-speed automatic. This is the all-new 2019 Hyundai Santa Fe. We got an early look at it on a first drive, and we really like the optional 2-liter turbocharged engine. When we get it in for full testing at Edmunds, we suspect it'll be one of our top-ranked midsize SUVs. The standard Hyundai Veloster offers 147 horsepower, while this turbo model makes 201 horsepower. But if you opt for the racetrack-inspired Veloster N, you get 250 horsepower, or the optional performance pack, which ups it to 275. It's definitely enough for us to call this a hot hatch.
We rated the all-new QX50 highly for comfort, but that comes with a cost. This 5-passenger SUV is a pleasant place to spend time and has a generous cargo area, but the infotainment system feels a bit dated. And while the much vaunted turbocharged variable compression engine delivers strong thrust, it's a bit flummoxed by the awkward CVT automatic, and the artificial feeling steering doesn't really help matters. The QX50 ultimately fell in the middle of our small luxury SUV rankings. Prices for this vehicle start around $37,000.
We've been expecting a Jeep Wrangler pickup, and here it is. The 2020 Jeep Gladiator is powered by the Wrangler's 3.6-liter V6, which makes 285 horsepower and 260 pound-feet of torque. The 2-liter e-torque engine will not be offered, but a 3-liter diesel, which makes 442 pound-feet of torque, is in the works. With Jeep's reputation in the dirt, Gladiator should be able to eat the competition for lunch when it comes to off-road capability.
This is the 2019 Kia Forte GT. Basically, it's a pumped-up version of the standard Forte. It gets 201 horsepower from a turbocharged 4-cylinder, which is a big increase over the 147 in the standard Forte. There's also some different exterior and interior bits that set it apart, and the extra power along with those different trim level features should be enough to set it apart and make it an interesting competitor for vehicles like the Honda Civic Si. This is the Kia Niro EV, and as you'd probably expect, it's a plug-in version of the standard Niro. It gets an estimated 240 miles of range, and it makes a great competitor for vehicles like the Chevy Bolt and the Tesla Model 3. Depending on pricing, this could be the bargain deal in the segment. We're excited to drive one and get it around our test track as soon as we can. This is the all-new 2020 Kia Soul. It's completely redesigned from the ground up, and man, does it look sleek. It's got that floating roof, some great new headlights, and it's got 6 distinct trim levels. That's up from only 3 in the previous generation. It's powered by a 2-liter naturally aspirated engine, and there's an optional 1.6-liter turbocharged engine. But There's also an EV version that gets over 200 miles of range and the same great looks. What you're looking at here is the concept version of the Kia Telluride. It's big, it's bold, and it's got a bunch of off-roady bits on the outside. It's a 3-row crossover SUV, and it's likely to compete with vehicles like the Chevy Traverse and the Ford Explorer, but with all this stuff on the outside, it'll probably appeal to a crowd that gets more use out of the roof rack. This is still the concept version, and we're waiting on details to be released, but stay tuned for more information after the Detroit Auto Show.
Over at Lincoln, the 2019 Nautilus is really an updated version of the unloved MKX, so it sort of sits between Lincoln old and new. The interior particularly still feels a bit dated. It's competent enough and there's some good deals to be had, but it doesn't have the depth of quality to challenge the segment leaders like the Mercedes GLC and Audi Q5. This new Aviator really is Lincoln's big bet. It's a 6 or 7-seater rival to Europeans like the Mercedes GLE and Volvo XC90. Now, we're yet to drive it, but we're certainly impressed by the style and quality of this interior, and it will be very competitively priced when it arrives next summer.
That's the redesigned Mazda 3. Now, we've always liked this compact sedan because it looks nice and it drives really well too. This one looks to be even better. Just take a look at the hatchback. It's gorgeous. Big news for this car is it will be available with all-wheel drive, and we expect next year it will be available with a hybrid drivetrain as well. We don't know too much about pricing yet, but it shouldn't change too much versus the current model, which starts at around 20 grand, but we really look forward to driving this car. We really like the MX-5 Miata. In fact, it's our #1 ranked convertible on Edmunds.com, and the reasons are obvious. This thing is really fun to drive. Changes for 2019 are minor, but we like what they brought to the table. The engine revs higher, there's more power, the suspension's been retuned, there's some additional safety features, and thank God the steering wheel now telescopes. Now, this thing starts at around $26,000, and you'd have to pay a lot more to have more fun. When it comes to compact SUVs, you really can't go wrong with the Mazda CX-5. It's neck and neck in our rankings with the Honda CR-V, and for 2019, this thing looks like it might be getting the edge. There's a new top-of-the-line trim called the Signature, which adds more luxurious features like leather and ambient lighting. There's also Android Auto and Apple CarPlay support, and the big news is the addition of a turbocharged 2.5-liter engine that makes 250 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque. Now, all that comes in at about 30 grand, and we're really looking forward to driving this updated Mazda CX-5.
The new A-Class proves you don't have to break the bank to enjoy Mercedes-Benz levels of refinement. It starts right around $30,000 and tops out above $50,000. It has great driving dynamics, luxurious comfort, and a ton of tech. It's the first vehicle from Mercedes-Benz to include the MBUX infotainment system, and we love it. Seriously, you should check it out. Watch our first drive of the A220 to find out why we rank it at the top of the entry-level luxury sedan class. That includes the Audi A3 and BMW 2 Series. The new GLE class also gets the MBUX system, as well as a lot more space. You can also get a 3rd row of seats. Prices start right around $55,000 for the base GLE 350, but I think the one to get is the GLE 450 for about $62,000. That's because it's eligible for the e-active body control suspension that leans into turns almost like a motorcycle. It's amazing, so keep an eye out for my first drive of the GLE. At the moment, it's my favorite among the BMW X5 and Audi Q7. Sticking with SUVs, the EQC represents the first in an upcoming line of EVs from Mercedes-Benz. It looks a bit different from the standard gas-powered Mercedes SUVs, but avoids looking like the typical EV. It'll have 402 horsepower coming from 2 electric motors that drive the front and rear axles with an estimated range of 279 miles. Inside, you get all the refinement expected of a Mercedes with a similar interior styling treatment as the bodywork. It won't go on sale until 2020, but we expect it to start around $80,000. There's a new G-Class too, and it's the first redesign in decades. It's wider, has more interior space, and is way better to drive. Despite its better on-road behavior, off-road prowess doesn't suffer. The 416 horsepower G550 is on sale now for about $126,000.
The all-new Nissan Kicks is a subcompact SUV that returns an EPA estimated 33 miles per gallon combined. That efficiency comes at a cost, though, with sluggish acceleration and longer than average braking distances for the class. You also may not want to get your kicks on Route 66, as in our testing we found the front seats lacked long-distance comfort. There are competitors that drive better or feel a little nicer on the inside, but with prices starting around $18,000, the Kicks delivers personality for not much money. The Nissan Murano has been lightly refreshed for 2019. If you look very closely, you'll see some exterior differences. You'll also find some new available active safety features and driver aids. The Nissan Murano is our number 4 ranked midsize 5-passenger SUV thanks to its comfort and nice material quality. Unfortunately, this refresh doesn't address our issues with the modest cargo capacity. Prices for the Murano start at a reasonable $31,000. Like the Murano, the Maxima has been lightly refreshed for 2019 with some tweaks to the exterior styling and a few new interior details. Of course, you'll also find those new available active safety features and driver aids. The Maxima is a bit of an odd duck. Nissan calls it their full-size sedan, but it doesn't quite have the space to compete in that class. With prices starting just over $33,000, we think you can find a roomier car for a little less money.
The big news from Porsche in 2019 is the arrival of this, the new 911, known to aficionados by its codename 992. The outside is instantly familiar, but inside it's all new and a big improvement over its predecessor. And my, is it fast! The Carrera S will debut with a 443 horsepower engine with either rear or all-wheel drive. That hits showrooms in the summer, but by the end of the year there'll also be a standard Carrera with a Cabriolet, a Targa and everything else to follow. We drive it in January and we can't wait. The midlife refresh for the Porsche Macan is a classic case of if it ain't bust, don't fix it. One of our top-ranked luxury SUV gains detail improvements to the way that it drives, a larger touchscreen interface inside, and a new signature LED strip across the rear, which is a feature of every contemporary Porsche. We've already driven it, so check out our first drive on Edmunds.com now and place your order for delivery next summer. The big news from the Porsche Cayenne in 2019 is the arrival of an updated hybrid, the e-hybrid. It combines a 3-litre gasoline engine with an electric motor. It will be quick, 0 to 60 in under 5 seconds, but don't expect to go more than around 20 miles on electricity alone. In showrooms in the summer. The GTS variants are normally the sweet spot of the Porsche range, and that's certainly true of the new Panamera. It uses a detuned version of the turbo's V8 engine, detuned that is to 453 horsepower. We've driven it on road and track, and you can read the first drive now on Edmunds.com. Regular Edmunds watchers will know that we're big fans of the Ram 1500. It's our top-ranked full-size truck, and we own one as part of our long-term test fleet. That's the V8. But for 2019, you'll also be able to choose a V6 e-Torque with a mild hybrid system. It's marginally cheaper to buy, but should be a lot cheaper to run, with an official consumption of 22 compared with 17 for the standard V8. Well worth a look.
We like the all-new Ascent's technology, comfort, and build quality. It also comes with all of Subaru's off-road goodness baked in with generous ground clearance and standard all-wheel drive. You get all of the features you expect from a 3-row SUV with seating for up to 8, including plenty of USB ports and cup holders to keep everyone charged and hydrated. There are some competitors that offer more third-row room and better on-road driving dynamics, however. Prices for the new Subaru Ascent start at around $31,000. Subaru has introduced a hybrid version of their Crosstrek. The Crosstrek Hybrid is a small plug-in crossover that gets up to 17 miles of all-electric range. It also has good off-road ability thanks to its ride height and standard all-wheel drive. On our YouTube channel, you can check out our comparison between the standard Crosstrek and a Jeep Wrangler to see just how capable this platform is. This hybrid model averages 6 miles per gallon better than the standard Crosstrek, but it also comes with a price premium of almost $8,000. The Crosstrek Hybrid is only available in one trim level, and that is the highest trim level. You'll get a lot of great features and equipment, but you'll also pay a price of almost $36,000. The fully redesigned Forester may not look very different on the outside, but it is much more comfortable to sit in. It also received all of Subaru's latest available technology features, including a facial recognition system. The Forester makes an interesting alternative to a small SUV like a Honda CR-V with tons of cargo and passenger space, standard all-wheel drive, and off-road friendly ground clearance. Sadly, the old optional turbocharged motor is dead. That means you're stuck with a slightly sluggish, naturally aspirated 4-cylinder. And that also means that competitive SUVs can offer better towing capacity. Prices for the Forester start under $25,000.
The Toyota RAV4 is currently the best-selling vehicle that's not a pickup truck, so you're going to see a lot of this redesigned version right here. It's got more aggressive bodywork on the outside, sure, but there's a lot of improvements underneath as well. This hybrid makes around 220 horsepower and returns around 39 mpg, and with a price ranging between 26 grand to 37 grand for a hybrid limited, it's easy to see why this is such a compelling vehicle. Big news for the Toyota Prius this year, it's available with all-wheel drive. Now there's an electric motor powering the rear wheels, and that's going to help with traction when you're accelerating, and it works up to about 43 miles an hour. This will be a big help for people who live in colder climates and have to deal with snow, but who still want good fuel economy. And as it sits, this version still does 50 mpg combined. The Corolla is one of the best-selling vehicles of all time, so it's kind of a big deal when there's a new one. The hatchback came out first last year, and now we have the sedan. But what we're going to talk about here is this hybrid model behind me, which will be available in the near future. Toyota projects it'll have Prius-like fuel economy above 50 mpg, and hopefully it'll come with those blue decals, right? Yeah, what do you think? See the wing on this Camry? No, we're not at SEMA. This is the TRD Toyota Camry, and right there is the TRD Toyota Avalon. You may not think of performance when you think about Avalon and Camry, but maybe you should. After all, these have 300 horsepower V6 engines, and these TRD versions get upgraded tires, upgraded brakes, pretty nice looking wheels, and sport-tuned suspension. Consider us cautiously optimistic about driving these next year.
The new Volvo S60 proves that Sweden can be considered against the German sport luxury sedans. Check out our first drive and you'll see that it has the performance, comfort, and refinement to take on BMW, Audi, and Mercedes. With a starting price just under $37,000 and Volvo's reputation for safety, it has an advantage. It also has stunningly good looks, in an understated kind of way. Wagons have been overshadowed by SUVs, but the Volvo V60 keeps the class alive. It's based on the S60 and has all the same features and benefits, as well as an SUV-like cargo capacity. We expect prices to start in the mid $40,000 range when it goes on sale early in 2019. For more outdoorsy wagon enthusiasts, there's this V60 Cross Country. Check back with us soon for more information. It's been a year since we first drove the Volvo XC40, but we're including it in this video because it's just that good. And we ranked it very highly in its class. With a starting price right around $37,000, it competes very strongly in the class of luxury subcompact SUVs. It sets itself apart from the BMW X1, Audi Q3, and Mercedes GLA with its super clean Scandinavian design. What can I say? The Volvo XC40 deserves your attention.
The Beetle is dead. That's right, this isn't new for 2019. In fact, quite the opposite. This is the last year of production for this car. Volkswagen's commemorating it with the final edition Beetle, which is available for the coupe for 24 grand and in convertible form like this one for around 28 grand. There are some styling updates, some feature additions, and that's really it. And now we can take a moment of silence for this iconic nameplate. Okay. This year saw the introduction of the redesigned Volkswagen Jetta. Its interior is larger and more comfortable than before, and you get good phone support through Android Auto and Apple CarPlay as standard. The sole engine choice is a turbo 1.4 liter that makes around 150 horsepower, and it'll do 34 mpg combined. It's a compelling package with a price range starting between 20 grand and $28,000, but we haven't rated one yet, so keep an eye out for Edmunds.com's ranking to see if this compact sedan should be on your shopping list. Thanks for watching. We'll be testing all the latest new vehicles through the next year. For reviews and ratings on the cars, trucks, and SUVs on your shopping list, check Edmunds.com.